Thank you, the second Deputy Party Leader, Honorable Body Alex Colley. The next person I'm going to call is the first Deputy Party Leader, who was as the chairman of the NOC, the National Organizing Committee for the 7th APRC National Congress, Usman Rambo Jato Jata.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The interim party leader, His Excellency, Honorable Fabakar Kendo Tombong Tato Jata. The second deputy party leader, Honorable Bori LSB Colley. Distinguished members of the National Executive Committee of the APRC, Honorable National Assembly members, representatives of fraternal political parties, media, members of the media fraternity, both print and electronic, Honorable local government councillors, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, it gives me a great pleasure indeed to make this statement and to be here today to participate in this important National Congress of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, the APRC. I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome as the chairman of the National Organizing Committee to our esteemed guests from the regions and the diaspora. It is my sincere hope that we shall achieve our objectives and make clear progress through wide-ranging discussions. Fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it was 24 years ago that this great party was founded, and since that year, the APRC have continued to have congresses to take stock of past events, identify challenges, make plans and recommendations for the way forward. While I repeat my obligations, I will do injustice to my own spirit, not to own up in this place the peculiar services and distinguished merits of the Supreme Leader, say Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya Indi Daniel. I would also like you to permit me to acclaim the interim leader, Honorable Fabakar Kendo Tombong Jato Jata. And the entire National Executive members who have always exerted themselves for the interest of President Jammeh and the APRC party. The one-day meeting here is indeed a continuation of that tradition. However, there is dissimilar about today's event and something special about it. The one-day meeting here, do you make out what that is and why it is very distinctive? It is because the party's founding father and supreme leader, say Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya Indi Babili Mansa, is not with us here in passing, but in soul. It's exceptional. In spite of being absent, we are able to navigate the ventures of our party and stick up to its values, norms, doctrines of unity, self-reliance, and progress. I could easily have spent this time praising the endowment of our party, which is conspicuously visible throughout the country, and attack the Barrow-led coalition government, but I choose not to do that. I could list the many encounters and critics that we currently are enduring, as well as list the problems which cause the people to feel cynical, fuming, exasperated, problems which include lack of integrity and honesty in government, the sensitivity that the individual no longer counts, the reality of quantifiable and mystical poverty, the feeling that the grand Gambian democratic experiment is waning and has nosedived. I could declare these problems and then could sit down and advance those solutions. But I don't think out to do that either. The citizenry expects more and deserves more. Therefore, they want more than a concert of problems. We are a nation in catch-22 about the present. We are a nation in hunt for our future. We are people in pursuit of a national community. We are a people not only trying to solving the problems of the present, but also idleness, inflation of lack of security, and the illegal occupation of Senegalese forces in our country. We are making an attempt to fulfill our national purpose, defend our territorial integrity and sovereignty, to create and sustain a society in which all of us are equal. All the way through the history of our 2 decades rule, when people have observed for new ways to solve their problems and to uphold the principles of this nation as enshrined in our national anthem, that all may live in unity, freedom and peace each day, let justice guide our action towards the common good. Many times, they have assumed respect to the party. What is it about the APRC that makes it a contraption people use when they quest for ways to save their future? Our hypothesis of governing is derived from our view of people. It is a concept deeply rooted in a set of beliefs firmly engraved in the national conscience of all of us. Here and now, what are these politics? First, we believe in the parity of all and privileges for none. This is credence that each, regardless of circumstantial, has equally standing in the public forum. All of us believe in these ideas so far that we are an inclusive rather than an exclusive party. It is no fortune that most people identify the APRC because it is a heterogeneous party made up of assorted backdrops. We believe that the people are the source of all government power and that the authority of the people should be comprehensive, not privileged, as the power of the people is bigger than the power in power. This can be accomplished only by providing each citizen with every opening in the management of government. We believe that the government, which represents the authority of the people, not just one interest group, but all has a compulsion of vigorously seek to do away with these hurdles which would trump personal attainments, stumbling blocks originating from tribe, religion, sex, and economic disorder. We are a party of novelty. We do not cast off our ethnicity and the way we do things, but we are enthusiastic to adapt to changing state of affairs. And when altering, we must gear up to suffer the discomposure of change in order to pull a better future. We have a positive vision for the future found on the conviction that the gap between the promise and reality of our country can one day be finally closed under the stewardship of our great party, the APRC. Fellow delegates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the bedrock of our concept of governing. This is part of the reason why people have turned to the party. These are the brass tacks upon which a national committee can be built. Let all understand that these directorial principles cannot be discarded for short-term political gains. They represent what our party is all about. They are indigenous to the APRC idea, and these are principles which are not negotiable. Let there be no slight of harm about the exertion of arising this kind of a national community. Its study, orders are not easy, but a discomposition of synchronization will subsist in the Gambia only if each of us reminisces that we share a common destiny. If each of us remembers when self-interest and bitterness seem to prevail, that we share a common destiny. Fellow delegates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have already seen paragons from the Independent Electoral Commission in the presidential election of 2016, where there was illegal interference with the election process by increasing the vote share of a favored candidate. It was such successful electoral fraud and deliberate manipulation that have the effect of a forced civilian coup d'etat in the Gambia. We therefore have a much greater responsibility to help maintain social stability during election periods, as we will never tolerate, I repeat, we will never tolerate that kind of ridiculous bloopers by the Independent Electoral Commission under the tutelage of Chairman Alieu Momon Njie, devious with ECOWAS, AU, UN, EU, Senegal, and the opposition parties who have mocked the APRC of its victory. And further, APRC's multi-ethnicity and religiously diverse society must know and feel at all times that we have a clear and united position on the issue. The young people are now more eligible voters in our generation than in any other, which means your generation now has more power than anybody to change things. If you want it, you can make sure the country gets out of its current funk. If you actually care about it, you have the power to make sure that what we see is a brighter future. But to exercise that cloud, to exercise that power to get your voters card and show up during elections. As party militants and supporters, we have therefore before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind, and we have to struggle to end it very soon for the prosperity of our people. But always will our people remember the character of onslaught and premeditated smear campaigns against our righteous party. I would thank Allah, the Almighty, for His guidance, protection throughout this period. May Allah bless the APRC, may Allah bless Babili Mansa, may Allah bless this group of the Gambia. I thank you.
Thank you very much, the first Deputy Party Leader. But I will continue. I recognize the presence of the Secretary General and Party Leader of the GDC of Delegation and the Honorable Mama Kande, Mohamed Mumsi Jataizi. They recognize the NCN Jambar and Komene Ajaratu Ami Sise, Ma Ami Sise, Komene Ajaratu Sona Sanyang, Komene Ajaratu Arajata, Komene Ajaratu Kumba Jeng, Nulena Jerem Jelen Santa. After elected councillors in the Secretary, you may recognize you some presence. Since former elected councillors in the Secretary, you may recognize some president, some presence. Since former candidates in your contestants, the Board National Assembly and the council elections, you may recognize some presence in the Jerem Center. Lemade President introduced the core MC, Moi Duru Ja, the deputy spokesperson who continue a program. Duru Ja, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, former Councillor Modulamin Baji, who is the co-MC for today's program. Before I go any further with the program guide, I would just want to do a short summary of the previous three speeches that were given here. I'll do it in Wolof and Mandinka precisely. Then we'll move on to what we're calling the awaited speech of the Right Honorable Alhaji Fabakary Tombong Jatta. mbokk yi ñu ngi leen a sant di leen gërëm bu baax a baax di leen dalal ci jotaay bi di nuyu ñëpp ñu fi teew bu nekk sa tur ak sa santa mbaɗigol mbal be bisimilla allah kal konton kal falie ko ngal jiyale kayro kono nañum beŋo to bi lafta men kela wolom ñatonkol diyamuta jan ya fole nun angale kaŋo lafta wole fasar la domandin mandinka kaŋo pour molu mi ya lon koy man angale kaŋo moy isa lom men fota jang wala ela kacal muna tinnayo kumol bondi dina ko tàmbalee ci nga xam ne mooy di former Lord Mayor of KMC bu olbateku tam doon National Mobiliser General bu APRC gaaral na fi ay kaddu wax fi kaddu yu am solo bokk na ci loolu gannaaw bu nuyoo kilifa yi nga xam ne ñoo jiite parti bi ak gan yu tedd yi ci am nga xam ne ay kilifa lañ bàyyeekoo ci ay political party ak yeneen mbootaay yu am solo mu dalal leen ci jàmma won leen ne seen kër lañ nekk gannaaw loolu ci waxam mu wax na yëngu-yëngu ak jafe-jafe bi nga xam ne APRC c'est political party depuis 2017 impasse bi fim jànkuwanteel lim xuus lim liggéey dem egsi fii tey waxtaan na ci loolu mu rafetlu ko lu bari te wax na tam ci kaadoom mu gaaral ko wax ci wàllu yar ak teggin ne doomi APRC loolu lañ leen xamee te ay nit ngeen noo xam ne lépp lu waa teral duñ ko beddi te duñ ko jàlla ba ci waxam mu ne su leen digalee sa taxaw leen ñu taxaw toog leen ñu toog loolu gaaral na ko fii pour rafetal ko mu daaneel kàddoom nag ci ñi nga xam ne ñooy suñ ay naataango di ay yeneen political party ñu bàyyi seen soxla yëpp ñëw teew fii tey ñu am mbégte ak kontaante pour dalal leen di rafetlu seen teewaay kontaan wax ne dëkk bi ñun ñëpp ñoo ko bokka ñaaka far waruta tax ñu noonoo wala muy isi xaajaarloo suñ biir ak kilifa yi fi teew gan yu sell ñu fi ñëw ñëpp santoon na leen mu gërëm leen ci waxam loolu mooy woon kàddu yi nga xam ne bàyyeekoo na ci former Lord Mayor di Alhaji Yankuba Koli mu doon tam di National Mobiliser General bu APRC mbaɗigol même mu Alhaji Yankuba Koli former Lord Mayor of KMC andum fana atele keta National Mobiliser General ti APRC a diamuta jang ala diamo kono kontondiro kola e pati ñaton konton ne ke tentu ke jeyi wo kola ngaluntam buñaringol men soton kono ay wol fanan tentu ke jeyi ay kuma jamale fo jang ka mira komala dol bi jefan amu ala doku ñollati num bari bi mbe fele bunkilin be sirin dulakilin wo kam mu yitandi wolom kanun taya atententa ka diamu ko patio ay durukoto menke kabo 2017 impasse ay kolea ku jamale soto atakita ku jamala bari ñaton ko lota yi simfulola e durukoto ke lota ñim patio e kadoko ke fomfutata bi wo be nin ala tento ala diamo kono aya be koyndile wokola tententa kayitandiro ke ko APRC diŋol imam fellon fo kuluwo i kuluta andun ko kumiya lon ko wolom ñim bankola luwati mbuka sango ala mbuka tiña fanan ay misalo dile fan ko APRC patio naye pati diŋol yamari ko allo ibe lola naye yamari fana ye si ibebe sila ñimbe ika yamaro moyle andu kabula yamaro la fanan ayala biyamo kumpa damen ay tentiro ke ay jeyro ke patiolla miya lonko mbele denta ñimbankola nga kumandiro kele ibe nata kan dampi ñimbe kamen tandi badi yalo mbele denta ñimbankola na patio manke kilinti ñaawo ñaa barin ka sonño male andum be nga lonne ko ba ñimbanko mbele tamo ay yinne fo wo kola memo honorable bori LSB Koli atelom second deputy party leader wolom meye parti wo ñaaton koya membe wo noma atele be wo noma ate fanan diamu ta janne ala diamu ba so tende konto biro ko na to de chairman ni legi kay natal bi haral be mo fare andana wasin kan sinya jamala len ma e gad ma ñaane la dara ko yala maya diamu ta wala andum batiwo bi ya lo ko na do ko ngenge na ganyaw ñu so
adiamu ka wofanala ka kol bambandi ka jadi ko la do bendi nyanda den na wala andu patola lo dula ay wofana bambandi danne ka jami dama ko ala fanala ka kanni pour mulla ka patola lo dula kum ngene ke bi an lafta mengela sama wala lafta menge so sama adiamu ka wala bokay ñaareel bi ci fi wax am am yo de ci élection yi seconde de parti bi da jiite parti bi ku toppati kooku moom moo toppati kooku dama nuyoo sant ak biir jiite parti bi ak ay ministère bi teew wax na njëriñ li nekk ci jiite ak am solo bu ci nekk
Lamin Tamba sa waajaa ngi nii de ñoom Bay Samba Diallo Fulani mu ngi nii Sam bayel panderi mbay mu gis la fii mu ngi si palanteer bi duma la dee gis nag ma ne duma la dee gis moo Facebook dafa bari ay gis ngeen suñ commando si booy géej naa laaj naka mbir kontaan naa de
kujama sa dan non sa sudah men bijang ko ta da men ki kujama men ko man na men ke boy ta dal to aya besen ne re an wala jamu ko fara ko janne ko bam pinji ka je ko man sa sudah jara ila damba ba men ke ke dole sa sala ko ka ko ni ko mo sa la men ke ni an wala jamu ko fara ay tan yo te APRC bi parti ni alon ko
aboto sisi
andu buka biti mola mbelu ni gati mbelu pasala na na tuka je ko sura ta ni ando sabla wodo ka ina suti ani ni mola ko angale ta ko manule ala ko man angale ka mo moy wala ni ka ka ma pa ke la ta ni pasala do ka suti ani bubol salam ni ka ta ni before we conclude the fourth session of the 7th National Congress of the Alliance for Patriotic Orientation and Reconstruction, abbreviated as the APRC. We once again want to recognize the presence of our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen from various institutions, political parties, and of course,
gars APRC TV ñu ngi nii suma gars
appreciate the efforts you are making in order to facilitate people to have access to the information. We definitely commend you for the job you're doing, and we believe we are all partners in thick and thin. Things doesn't go smooth all the way, all the time, or it doesn't go your way, but you have to appreciate and accept certain instances for national issues so that we can have a way forward in achieving success. I would want to go to the last item of the day, which would be official opening statement of the Congress by the party leader and chairman, who is none other than a seasoned politician in this country. He's a household name. Over almost 2 decades, he served in Parliament. He's a legend and a great parliamentarian without doubt. A man who knows the 1997 Constitution from cover to cover. In many instances, when I get stuck, even through interpretation of the laws of this land, if I go to him, he tells me, no, give me a moment. He'll just open his car and provide you with the Constitution. After telling you what is in that Constitution, he will open it and show you proof. That's why I said he knows the 97 Constitution cover to cover.
He's an asset in the field. A man who has served in Parliament for almost 2 decades, with all the commissions in this country, not his name, but even his title will not be written or heard, where people have been accounted for what happened in the past. He's a man of integrity. He has served this nation with dignity. He is well honored. We talk about the APRC. He is a household name. We want to commend him for that. Most of his accolades, what he achieved in the international community, this is not a day for us to mention that. I am just naming a few, especially those who don't know him that well will understand when he steps forward and talks what type of person is sending a message. Ladies and gentlemen, before I call on him, the Right Honorable Alhaji Fabakary Tombong Jatta, I have my mom in the name of Ajamberi Sow. She has taken that responsibility at several places before the Honorable Otis Award. She would want to sing praises and words to send a message, a signal for people to understand what message is coming forth. I will give her the opportunity to sing some praises for the great Honorable, the Right Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta, Ajamberi Sow, the mic is yours.
Dudu jërëjëf xool bi dama bëgg na ma ñëpp déglu kii wax si mooy kan jàmbaari fàq tëdd bi àll bi méttee ñuy xuus impasse bi coow li bari ko mu daw kenn taxawuloon bàyyi tuuti Jatta bàyyi Lamin Jatta ki ñoo aussi mooy kan mooy ki solidarité pour APRC ki ñoo aussi mooy kan mooy ki jaay bakkanam ngir APRC ki ñoo aussi mooy kan mooy ki tax jigéen ñi xam sa li nekk dama ne ku bañ ku la gërëm bul def dara di Right Honorable ñun ci sa gannaaw réew maa ci sa gannaaw Gambians yaa ci sa gannaaw supporters yaa ci sa gannaaw di la wax ne APRC ci kaw ci kanam di la wax jàmm jàmm di la wax jàmm jàmm ñu ne raykati nit ñii ne yaaxakat ñii ne tappalakat ñii ki ne pëjalkat di Right Honorable di thinking man choice of the people nga taxaw nga ne loolu du am te def ñu sagal proud nañ tey pour amaat ci seven annual conference ñëpp dañu seetaan APRC ci kaw ci kanam soo déggee jot ci la atam ngay jël yaa atam
So, tadi nasibnya kebeganan ko. Dana Ajamberi Sow, macam tu majela ayam ko mo senia peneset mulia mulia tanan. Anda alamat jaringan je. Kalau oh kita sambil berparti juga, we would want to recognize the presence of Captain Bire Jammeh, who is also known as Yaya Jammeh, is in our midst. We want to recognize this person. Sir, you're very much welcome to the 7th Congress of the APRC. We will also want to recognize the presence of former Major Jiba, who is a lecturer at the UTG University of the Gambia. We welcome you and we want to recognize your presence. Mr. Jiba, welcome. Mbokki ci li ñoo ñëw duga mooy lu ñëpp doon xaar ay kàddu yi nga xam ne mooy bàyyeekoo ci ku jiite parti APRC ci jamono bi dina ñëw pour waxtaan ak ñëpp ñu fi teew lan moo tax ñu dajaloo fi tey kàddu yu am solo la may leen ko seen noppa li moo wax ngeen déglu ko bu baax mbaɗigol mbena dunna bemola ben folola kum faato wolo mo parti leader wala ɗo naala pour que diyamo ke ngal danile alsela moy baake nin hakkilola ɓena nan fola mena tinnan be benta jang minul be ɓe siri minul ɓe lori niyen sindi jang aɓe nawo diyamolle fola andu seeɗa moy aɓe men fola
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Alhaji Fabakari Kondonyata, welcome to the podium and the stage is yours.
wax naa leen ko ma ne leen ne Yaya Jammeh kum jiital nit ñi ànd ak yow Yaya Jammeh kum ne kii la kooku la ñun loolu lañ xam wax naa ko démba tombong ma ne ko parti bi ñun ay Baay Faal lañ ma ne ko ñun ay Baay Faal lañ loolu laa wax Fabakary Tombong Jatta démba wax naa ko ko kay wal madal jàppale ko
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Mr. Chairman and MC of this occasion.
dañoo bàyyi da nga nekk si mic bi ñu bëgg di la wax loolu lii lañ fi defoon bañ juumloo ko fii si time lifin bi fële si press conference nit su nekkee si mic bul ko dee wax loo bàyyi leen ko mu continuer
Ousmane Rambo Jatta.
moo am solo.
Second deputy party leader Bori LSB Kole. Distinguished national executive members, representatives from our fraternal political parties, representatives from the IEC, representatives of the Supreme Islamic Council, and a representative from the Christian Council, members of both the print and the electronic media, distinguished patrons of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, distinguished delegates, fellow APRC members from the diaspora, United States chapter chaired by Alhaji Jibril Fadia, United Kingdom under the chairmanship of Usman Panjak Baji, EU under the leadership of Alhaji Baba Nintal, and all other branches of the party. APRC militants, supporters, and sympathizers. Our versatile and dynamic APRC WhatsApp chat groups, party chairpersons, mobilizers, elders council, youth leaders, YI companies, our able National Assembly members here in present, and our elected and selected councillors, comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today for the 7th National Congress of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, APRC, to discuss, plan and strategize ways for the development of our party and country. To you all, APRC members, I salute you. I salute you for your discipline, for your sacrifice and devotion to the Green Party. At this juncture, I want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding and protecting us and granting us the fortitude, perseverance, and unparalleled commitment to the APRC and the Gambia during our trying and difficult times over the last 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished invited guests, leadership is a splendid responsibility. So let me begin by personally expressing gratitude to our party founder and supreme leader, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Abdul Aziz Jammeh. Our gratitude to His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, Babili Mansa, a man who for 22 years endured the leadership, the liability leadership of our great country. His achievements are unprecedented, historic, enduring, and his towering presence in the international community cannot be ignored. On behalf of the entire Okay, all right. On behalf of you all, on behalf of the entire membership of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, we say thank you to Babili Mansa. Let us pay accolade to the National Executive Committee members. All right, okay. All right. I urge you all to listen very attentively. Let's pay accolade to the National Executive members whose efforts led us out of the backwaters and made it possible for us together to forge a new and stronger APRC despite all the challenges. Some of these challenges include incessant smear campaign in print, radio, and television. Not forgetting the Ghana Commission and the TRRC unwarranted arrest of our members, choosing justice dispensation, weeding out our supporters from public service, the seizure of our vehicles and accounts, illegal sale of President Jammeh's properties, etc., 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 by the coalition government. I would also like to express gratitude to our Supreme Leader and former President of the Republic of the Gambia, to pay gratitude to his host, the President of Equatorial Guinea, His Excellency President Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbatogo, his entire government and people for the wonderful friendship, love, kindness, support and generosity, and for hosting our party leader and his family. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, under the party constitution, the National Congress is the party's most authoritative organ, herein convened to perform some of these functions. That is, review the party's reports on its progress since the last Congress and scrutinize and approve its performance for the next 2 years. The theme of the Congress, which is different from the 2021 theme, back to the State House. The theme of the Congress, is Remember Jammeh for Unity, Renewal and Radical Socio-Economic Transformation. Let's remind ourselves of Jammeh's legacy of selfless service to the people, and let's endeavor to emulate him for the unity and revival of our party and country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our delegates came from across the length and breadth of the country to discuss and adopt policies that affect the people, and the debates will enhance and contribute towards fraternal partners from across the country, which affirms their commitment to work tirelessly for the fundamental rejuvenation of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction. Let me at this juncture pay tribute to you, the delegates, who represent various structures, organs, branches of the party, for your unwavering commitment and loyalty to the party, especially during these last 4 years. I continue to urge you to be resolute, fear no sacrifice to win victory. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we emerged from the 6th National Congress in Buyam in 2018, more committed and united to ensuring a prosperous, non-tribal, and an all-inclusive democratic party, well poised to protect and defend our independence and sovereignty, accessible and affordable quality healthcare, quality free education at all levels, protect life and property, and a more productive and rewarding agricultural sector. As the Green Party is known for, we will ensure the socio-economic development of our people and the empowerment of our youths and women. May I, at this juncture, on your behalf, acknowledge, appreciate, and applaud our Supreme Leader, His Excellency Yahya Jammeh, for the unparalleled socio-economic development in all sectors and imbibing in us self-reliance and a patriotism. President Jammeh once said, I quote, "I sacrifice my life and commit myself to being a lifelong militant in the struggle to create a better life for all." Certainly, it is our dynamic party leader, His Excellency Dr. Yahya Jammeh, that brought about and ensured that the people became masters of their destiny, which translated into positive change in the life and the livelihoods of Gambians. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, party militants and sympathizers, we must recall the formidable challenges and hurdles we surmounted during the last 4 years, meant to cripple the party, but for your undiluted commitment and loyalty, indicative of your appreciation of the achievements registered by the party during the 22 years we were in governance. There were incessant smear campaigns against the Supreme Party leader and our party. Our people were shot to death, massive arrests and detentions, our cows frozen, our vehicles seized and sold by a compromised commission and TRRC. Refusal to acknowledge and implement the joint communique signed between former President Yahya Jammeh, ECOWAS, AU, and the United Nations that led to the former president's departure to Equatorial Guinea, thus enabling a peaceful transfer of power. It is, however, noteworthy to reference the press release of Ibrahim Sankare, government spokesperson, in which he refuted rumors of former President Jammeh's return, but for the first time acknowledged the existence of a joint communique between former President Jammeh, ECOWAS, AU, and the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, APRC militants, we are vindicated. May I repeat what I said in a radio interview with Panderi Toure of Star FM? I will quote, "Nobody or law can prevent a citizen of the Gambia from coming back home despite any alleged crime he might have committed. Former President Jammeh's return depends entirely on him. He can come back next week, next month, or any time of his choice. What is clear is that he will surely come back home. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I must commend and applaud once again members of my APRC National Executive for their commitment, loyalty, and sacrifice over the last years under very challenging times. I salute, therefore, their devotion to duty, unwavering loyalty to the party, the Supreme Party leader, and our beloved country, the Gambia. Thank you, NEC. Let's also be mindful of our detractors who make unsubstantiated allegations against members of the National Executive Committee with intent to divide and destroy the party. We shall always be guided by the supreme interests of the party and our country. Green Party members and sympathizers, let's continue to mobilize by marketing our party's programs and a manifesto which are anchored on our shared values and vision and premised on the following principles: rule of law and respect for the Constitution, democracy and human rights, inclusive and participatory governance, non-racial and non-tribal society, intercultural and community cooperation, unity in diversity and respect for culture, national consciousness, identity and patriotism, and many others. This principle, among many, underpins our strategic programs in governance. An APRC government will promote social cohesion, patriotism, and will jealously protect and defend our independence and sovereignty. Distinguished delegates, as the supreme body of the party, that's the National Congress, you are to review, discuss, adopt, and approve programs presented by the National Executive Committee for the smooth and effective operation of our party. I salute you, the delegates, and the entire members of the Green Party for your moral and financial support throughout these difficult 4 years. Your actions show ownership of the party, and without you, we will not be here today. We also salute members and sympathizers of the party in the diaspora. As I said, in the United States of America, it's led by Jibril Fadia, United Kingdom branch Usman Panjak Baji, EU branch by Babandin Tal, and all their members and sympathizers, and all other chapters in the diaspora, for your invaluable support, morally, financially, and intellectually, especially during these trying times. We recognize and applaud your financial contributions, not only to the party, but also to the regions, consequences, associations, villages, and even individuals. May Allah reward you abundantly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, during our time in governance, we've built a relatively national economic system with our economic power and a comprehensive national strength. We have thoroughly put an end to the loose-sand state of the old system and realized a high degree of unification of the country and the unparalleled unity of all ethnic groups. Distinguished delegates, invited guests, maintaining the flesh and blood ties with the people is the fundamental guarantee for our party to overcome difficulties and risks and make continuous success. In the meantime, and under the circumstances, in no time and under no circumstance will sharing the common faith with the people be changed. The purpose of serving the people wholeheartedly be forgotten. And the viewpoint of historical materialism, that the people are the real heroes, be discarded. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the recruitment and training of young party members is a strategic task that will ensure the long-term stability of the party. In order to assume leadership responsibility, the capacity to serve the people, enhance their judgment of the situation, their understanding of the overall interest, and of course, their ability to handle complicated circumstances. The party's work style bears on the image of the party, the trend of public feeling, and the life of the party. It is essential to strengthen in an all-round way the development of the party style and leadership. In light of the new realities, it is necessary to carry forward the party's fine style, namely integration of theory with practice, close link with the people, criticism and self-criticism. In the meantime, it is necessary to foster a new style on the basis of summing up new and practical experiences that will catapult the party to State House following the 2021 presidential election. Ever since its founding, the APRC party has all along held high the great banner of patriotism and waged an epic struggle for the unity and rejuvenation of the country. Fellow delegates and distinguished invited guests, the COVID-19 pandemic had a serious of restrictions
Bobby Wine Berem bi jigul Uganda de bàyyi leen bere Bobby Wine yooyu baaxul Uganda Museveni daf ko door ba ci suuf bu leen sol bere Bobby Wine Bobby Wine anduma
May I therefore ask this question? Where the line decisions and measures
xale Bobby Wine ñu ne dañ ñëw wàll ci Yaya Jammeh
where the funds utilized in the most judicious and effective manner and fully accounted for. Was the response effective and comprehensive?
Yes, sir.
Where the needs of the various sections of the population, such as the old, children, women, youths, persons with disabilities, among others, considered and well catered for? What has been the impact of the government restrictions on businesses, especially small and medium-scale businesses? And has government provided any relief for them? Where the social services such as healthcare, education, electricity and water supply, among others, well delivered? Where the emergency regulations such as the use of face masks, social distancing, curfew, and the ban on public gathering enforced effectively and without discrimination or prejudice? We need to cross-examine these issues so as to ensure that public resources are not wasted and diverted, and that the public officials acted in the best interests of the people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, party militants, supporters and sympathizers, as a party, we know that we succeed best when we reach out to all our people who can be persuaded to share our values and who would like to be part of those who want to build a more just and vibrant society. Please reach out to all of them. Finally, we must remember that we are in an election year. We must all be mobilized and market the party's programs, policies, and manifesto for the people. Our party, under the visionary and caring leadership of Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya A.J. Jammeh, unprecedented socio-economic development throughout the length and breadth of this country. Let's remind ourselves, lest we forget, of the road network. Bara Karawan Farafenye Lamenkoto Passa. which hitherto had never been macadamized before during the 400 years of our colonial masters and the 30-odd years of the previous government of EPP. The coastal road networks the Combo South road networks, Bikama Daslame Ring Road, the Transgambia road networks, you can count them, etc., etc., etc. Phase 1 and phase 2 of rural electrification. I want to make this abundantly clear. That most of we have phase 1, phase 2 started, but continues into this regime. But it is funded, started and funded by the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction. From 12 high schools in 1994 to over 120 high schools in 2016. University of the Gambia, free primary and secondary education, the GRTS, the new foreign office building, hundreds of tractors to farmers and communities throughout the Gambia. We moved from 2 colonial hospitals in 1994 to over 6 hospitals in 2016. The Kerawan and the Janjambure bridges that touch him the name Babili Mansa. Free training for teachers, agriculturists, and nurses. Airport terminal building with first-class runway and extended parking lot. Ultra-modern National Assembly complex. Etc., etc., etc. And above all, inculcating in us self-esteem and patriotism. I salute our regional, constituency, ward, sub-ward, and village committees for your hard work, commitment, and loyalty. I will not forget our youth, our women, elders, young companies, and of course, our various WhatsApp groups. Through the APRC chat group executive, I say bravo to the APRC chat group. I also see this opportunity to thank the National Organizing Committee of the 7th National Congress of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction under the chairmanship of Usman Rambo Jal. Not forgetting the protocols under Bator Sise, security under Pamatar Ndao, and of course, our vibrant, very proactive, hard-working, His Excellency FJC, commonly known as Fatoumata Kahumpa Sise. As she is our main resource mobilizer. FJC, your billboards for this Congress has dumbfounded our doubting Thomases. And this is just the beginning. More are in the pipeline, she told me. NSC women, National Executive Committee women, under the leadership of Aissatou Bifanga Jaju and Ajamberi Sow. Our logistics, chaired by Ibu Sonko, our press and media, headed by our able Deputy Spokesperson Dudu Jah, and of course, our orator, you all know him, is our Coordinator General, General Bakari Jete, commonly known as Bakri. Bakari, Bakso, thank you very much. You are indeed a valuable partner. You are committed and loyal. You have never known and will never know Jamfa. Bakari, thank you very much. I also want to salute our Secretariat under the leadership of Pa Amadou Suso. I thank them all for a job well done. I want to recognize, applaud, and thank retired General Samsidine Sarr. I have only known him to be an honest gentleman, guided only by the truth and his conscience. General, we thank you. I want to thank our invited guests, and we apologize for having a slowdown. We were expected to, we started later than scheduled. I listened to the names here in present, some of them. I am indeed heartened. They are great sons of this country here present. And on behalf of the entire members of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, we salute you for sparing time to grace this occasion, especially to our partners, our sister political party partners who had time to be with us here. I will also want to thank the proprietor of Paradise Suite Hotel, Amilet Ndao. We are grateful and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide and protect you. Lest I forget, but not the least, I want to thank my dear two wives, and my children who are here with me, and thank them for their support and encouragement during this trying moment. Finally, I want to say this. Imam Muhammad Lamin Sise, Imam Ratib of the APRC, I want to thank him for his loyalty and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Sise, thank you very much. And to Bishop Professor Don Augustine Bernard, Executive Chairman, Pastors Intercessory Fellowship International, the Gambia. We thank you and salute you, Pastor. I end with this. Ladies and gentlemen, power resides in the people. And all leaders derive their power from the people. And we must always remember that that power is delegated by the people. It can always, at any time, be taken back by the people. Thank you very much. I missed out the backbone of any party, and especially the APRC. That's the mobilization team. Under the dynamic leadership of Right Honorable former Mayor Yankuba Koli, our able, very versatile, committed and loyal Deputy Mobilizer General, Pastor Baji, otherwise known as Obama. I want to salute him personally for adding value to our party. He's a selfless young man who fears nobody except Allah and will never lie for anybody. Thank you, mobilization. I now have the singular honor to declare the 7th National Congress of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, APRC, at the Benjamin Hall, Paradise Food Hotel, open. Thank you very much. For the first time in the history of the Alliance of Alabama, the Treasurer and Deputy Treasurer today, during the course of the day, will present the audited accounts of our party. Our party has known since 1994 and had the opportunity to work with him, especially when I was majority leader. I know you people all know him. He's not feeling okay, but despite poor health, he has been a pillar for us as a party. Not only as a party, but the individual groups in every operation of the party. Even in this very gathering that we are in here today, he has provided us thousands of face masks. That person is no other than Action Man. Right Honorable Bala Jay. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Party Leader, for your statement, which is very educative and informative, and also for declaring the session of this Congress open. Before we conclude, we would want to introduce an executive member that stepped out when the introduction was done of the National Executive Committee, who's none other than Aja Fatu Gumbaya. We want to introduce her to the general membership. Also moving further, the National State Security, the police, we want to thank them immensely and to recognize their presence, struggle and effort, what they have been offering for this nation. Thank you very much. In our midst, we have one of our veteran party member, who is none other than Malik Mbaye. He's in our midst all the way from the United States. Brother Malik, we want to recognize your presence. We want to bring it to your notice that APRC calendars are on sale for $100, the membership. Badingol pul alsa kala mutako be APRC la calendar mba wafikan dalasi kene mo la ta abijanne mbokki yi ngay jaay calendar bu APRC parti téeméeri gëdëm rek te ko ko dugal moom fi bala ñoo te jotaay bi am nañ bëgg a fàttali rek te ko fi teew ne dañ am su ñaari nit yi nga xam ne suñ borom daf leen moom di sàkku ci mbooloo mi pour ñu sànnil leen ñaan ñu observe li nga xam ne mooy 1 minute silence ñan ñooy ñooñu kenn ci ñoom mooy ndem ci yàlla Malang Saybo Camara nga xam ne moo nekkoon vice chairperson bu APRC ci CRR nit la ko am ne ku taxaw woon parti bi liggéeyal parti bi ñu ngi ko jàllee mbokkaam bi ñëpp di wax ne bugga nañu ñaanal ko ñaanal bi di suñ spokesperson honorable Moussa Amoun Niasse ñëpp xam nañ taxawaayam ci parti bi liggéey bi moo def ci mbeddi député yi liggéey bi moo def ci goxam ak réew mi moom tam jabaram génn na àddina suñ borom jël ko ci ay fan yu néew rek ci gannaaw bugga nañoo boole ñaar ñii di sàkku ñaan pour ñu ñaanal leen ci benn 1 minute silence képp ku nekk rek nga defal leen ñaan ngir suñ borom yërëm leen xaare leen ak janna kon 1 minute silence ñu ñaanal ñi nga xam ne ñi ñoo génn àddina.
kon gars yi léegi fu mu nekk nii déclare nañ di opening 7th Congress of APRC parti bi yéen ñëpp comme nu ngeen ko gisee open nañ ko fu mu nekk nii léegi liggéey bi dina door si kanam tuuti incha allahu rabbi kon yéen dinaa leen bàyyi fii ba si kanam ñëpp ñoo xam ne nii daal APRC moom kenn desut mun naa laa wax ñu baax si réew mi ëppa doole gi yëpp ñu ngi fi. waaw ñu ngi
jërë ngeen jëf
gis ngeen ko nu ngeen ko gisandoo de ñoom Adja
jotaay bi nag di leen wax ne
ñoom Adja Sali Sey
nga emale waaye képp koo xam ne délégué la mooy maanaam ñu bàyyi ko ci ay tur bi ñëw fii ñoom dinañ des gannaaw suñu amee break ba dellu si
waaw léegi ñu ngi ñëw jël si break after délégué si ñooy ñëw
mbaɗigol ɗomo ñimɓe tenchenna
député yi magasi national assembly moo nekk ni
botanan
Sékou Maron
bolon kono kana anni santo satel to tolɓe tulale pour que congrès min laɓan bari ɓe molɓe tentula ka jayi comme a fotanu ñamen surtout media houses ol mbal be jayla sécurité parti ñatonkolu inila mol minum ɓe naata jang alfalu mo kuma bal minum ɓen kono koma MPs ministalu iɓeɓi janne pati o bal tentula bal jayla allah nani sahoroɓe muño kam altarta